and welcome to Radius. My name's Erica, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited that you're here today. You know, wherever you're at in your spiritual journey, 2021 could be the year where you discover God and experience God in a new way. So today, as we sing these songs, I just want to encourage you. Let's leave behind the stress, and let's leave behind the frustration, whatever, all those things. Let's just set it aside for just a couple of moments, and let's just spend some time with God, just being in his presence, because he wants to meet us right here, right now. So join us as we sing.
I know I'm not going to be the only one who will try to awkwardly exploit the phrase, hindsight is 2020. You're going to see plenty of bloggers and maybe even songwriters, preachers who will say things like, hey, let's look back at 2020 so we can see our mistakes more clearly. Get it? Like 2020, like seeing, you get it. I think you're also going to start hearing people with the refrain, I'm glad 2020 is in our hindsight, right? From the onset of COVID, of course, to the killing of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, among so many others. From the exhausting election to the death of Chadwick Boseman to wildfires to murder hornets, I think we can all say we are glad that's over with. But before we close the dumpster lid on 2020, let's go ahead and just ask a cliched question. When we look back, what can we see? Or maybe more helpful, what can looking back help us see moving forward? Will it help us see pitfalls that we can avoid? Will it help us see opportunities that we didn't notice before? You might know some people in your life who will claim to have 30 years of experience, but the more that you get to know them, you get to know their marriage, you get to know them at work. You wonder if what they've really had is just 1 year of experience that they've repeated 30 times because maybe they haven't looked back to evaluate how they can grow moving forward. I imagine you want this year to be different. I imagine you want this year to be significant. This can be a turning point for our culture, maybe for your life. You'd like to make the most of this year because you have to live in the future that it's going to create. So my hope in this very first message of 2021 is to help us live better in 2021 by seeing some things that we can count on more clearly.
You will stay true. Even when the lies come, your word remains true. Even when my thoughts don't line up, I will stand tall on each promise you made.
Radius family, my name is Amanda, and if you're a first-time guest, we want to say a very special welcome to you. And just for stopping by, we have a free gift for you. Just go to radius.la and click the I'm New button. Quickly fill out your information, and we'll send you a free ebook called Will is Greater Than Want. Everyone struggles to know how to make great strides in their life, whether it's spiritual, financial, or relational progress. Will is Greater Than Want is the resource for you to help overcome those challenges we all face. So don't wait and download right now. And if you're not new and want the book, just head on over to radius.la and sign up on the homepage. As we enter the new year, there's never been a better time to start healthy new spiritual good habits like daily praying, reading the Bible, or volunteering to serve. God is especially unique when it comes to the spiritual habit of giving. It's the only time in the Bible that He says, "Test me on this." And there's no better way than to display your faith in Him with our finances. 2021 could be the year that you take that big step of faith where you truly trust Him fully with your life, your finances, and your heart. Now, if you're new to Radius, this is not for you. We actually want you to not give. We just want to help you wherever you are on your spiritual journey. But if you'd like to contribute to our mission of helping the lost and those that are in need, simply text Radius LA to 77977, or just go to radius.la/give, and there's several ways your generosity can help make a difference in our communities and the lives of others. Next week, we have an exciting new series titled Weightless. We're going to unpack the tools you need to start 2021 strong by dropping the weight of your anger, dropping the weight of jealousy, guilt, greed, and so much more. You owe it to yourself to be happier in 2021. But it begins with working on the obstacles that seem to slow us down and create distance between God and ourselves. And if you know someone who would benefit from some of these topics, make sure to invite them or share on social media. You could be that defining moment in someone's life where everything turns around. Well, we are so thankful that you would spend your time with us here at Radius. We appreciate all that you're doing to help change the lives of those around you. And without further ado, let's jump right in and into today's message. Hindsight is 2020.
Now, I want to borrow the wisdom of a man you may have never heard of, a man named Agur, who lived centuries ago, but his wisdom was so helpful that if you can believe it, people have been reading it ever since. He wanted to, it seems, help people see the future more clearly, and he uses animals as a metaphor to do it. And after a year when events turned people into animals, it's probably not a bad place to start. So here's what Agur writes that we can learn from. In Proverbs chapter 30, starting in verse 24. There are 4 things on earth that are small, but they are exceedingly wise. Ants are creatures with little strength, but they prepare their food in the summer. Rock badgers are creatures with little power, but they make their homes in the crags. Locusts have no king, but they all go forward by ranks. A lizard you can catch with the hand, but it gets into the palaces of the king. Now, when we're aspiring for our future, it's natural for us to look up, right? Or to encourage each other to rise up, to see our world from above our circumstances. But Agur here is saying, well, as we do that, let's also look down for a second. There are some lowly creatures that are seeing things about our future that maybe we might not. So, what is it that the ant sees in our future? Well, the ant knows to store up in the summer what it's going to need in the winter. Or putting it another way, the ant can see what time it is in life. You know, when people are at a picnic and we're eating burgers, the ants are there running off with the sugar or the chips because they can't miss their chance to get prepared. So as difficult and surprising as this last year was, some, if we're honest, were more prepared than others. There are no guarantees that 2021 is going to be any less volatile. So the only question is, will you be personally more prepared for the next winter? And what's winter? Well, winter's personal. So maybe it'll be a disease that you thought belonged to other people, and now it's your story. Maybe it'll be career prospects drying up. Maybe it'll be your kids not turning out how you'd hoped. But we all need to see what the ant sees. No matter what, no matter how warm it feels for some of us right now, another winter is coming. So for your own sake, and for the sake of a world that needs you, take time to think about how to prepare for another winter. Are you financially prepared? Are you physically prepared? Are you spiritually prepared? Because let's face it, you only have for winter what you prepared for in summer. So what is it that the rock badger sees in our future? Well, rock badgers, I don't know if you spend much time thinking about rock badgers, so let me inform you. They live in rocks, and when a vulture's coming, they run into the crags. So if the vulture wants to eat that badger, it's going to have to move a mountain to do so. Another way to understand this is the rock badger can see where security is found. You think about it, if it wanders away from those rocks, it does not matter how fast that rock badger is, how smart that rock badger is, how courageous the rock badger is, it is going to be the victim of the smallest wolf. You know, when God promised to be with us in the circumstances of life, he promised to be our only necessary source of identity and self-worth and purpose when those things seem threatened by the world around us. And there are some of you veteran church people who, if you're honest, you don't know God any deeper than you did years ago. Maybe you know about the rock, maybe you've studied the rock, maybe you can tell us all kinds of details about the rock, but you don't know how to hide yourself in God's strength. So, when the barrage of 2020 hit, you saw yourself spinning out mentally, emotionally. So, hey, let's just make this year the year that you and I develop deeper intimacy with God, not just knowledge about him. Might be time to consider trusting him with your life for the first time, if that's where you're at. If so, we want to help you with those first steps. And you can find those first steps at RADIUS.CHURch. For some of you, this might be the year where you revisit your spiritual practices. Maybe you learn more about prayer and meditation in God's presence. If you don't know where those hiding places are when you're calm, then you're going to really struggle to find them when you're in crisis. Trust me. Now, what does the locust see in our future? At the turn of the 20th century, a plague of locusts swept through Nebraska, Iowa, and Kansas, and in less than a week did $15.5 billion worth of damage. So if you see a grasshopper in your kitchen, you might freak out, but you shoo that thing out the door. If that grasshopper joins a swarm, they could eat your house. So what does the locust see? The locust can see the strength of community. Deb Roy, a professor at MIT, recently wrote that by optimizing for what people individually want, our technology may be harming what we collectively hold dear. If you're honest, some of the pain of 2020 could have been mitigated if you had people in your life with the maturity and the perspective and the generosity to help you when you needed it. Now, some of you had friends and family, but they didn't help much. You know, I spent some time in the book of Job this last year, which seemed appropriate for 2020. And here's this guy who endured a horrible year. And he was surrounded by friends, but those friends only had self-help and superstition and hopelessness. It would have been better off for Job if his friends hadn't visited and tried to help. You know, the first churches ever, and actually the healthiest ones today, are interdependent alliances of ordinary humans doing extraordinary things together, enduring otherwise impossible circumstances together, experiencing impossible breakthroughs together. So are you investing in some of that for your life? Your future is going to be stronger if you do. Now, finally, what does the lizard see in our future? What does it mean for our future if lizards get to live in palaces? Well, I think embedded in that picture is the scandal of grace. You know, the lizard wasn't born into some royal line. The lizard didn't get a degree. The lizard isn't a lion, you know, the king of beasts. The lizard didn't build that palace, but the lizard can live there. So if there's one thing that I want us to witness more of this year, I want you to open your eyes and see more this year. I want to see the power of grace. God is trying to clear the way for us to experience more of life than we deserve. See, I think grace is the only thing God's working with, and it's the only thing God wants you to work with in the lives of others. You know, if you read the life of Jesus, and I encourage you to do so much of that this year, it seems nuts. He's not playing by our rules. You know, here's Jesus elevating unnoticed people, Jesus celebrating criminals, Jesus seeing people behind the politics. He chooses people that your closest friends would probably reject. That's an honest reading of the biography of Jesus. Every left out and kept out and checked out soul in the hands of God, Jesus proves this for us, in the hands of a God of grace is a miracle waiting to happen. That means you, and that means me, and that means every person that we encounter this year, whether you like them or not. That is the power of grace. And I want to see it at work more in my life and through my life this year than ever before. You know, hindsight is only going to be 20/20 for us if it helps us have a clearer vision moving forward. So, what is it that you need to see? Yeah, I know that we put Christmas back in the box, which I grieve because it's my favorite time of year. But I do have to get something off of my chest. I am really glad that at least for the next 11 months, we can put one of my least favorite songs behind us, and that is the Christmas song, Mary, Did You Know? And there are two reasons that I despise this song. And I'm sorry for all the Mary Did You Know super fans out there. I am a hater. I hate this song. Let the record show. Here's one of the reasons I hate this song. First, I hate how you have to smush in the line, did you know? Oh, Mary, did you know? I can't stand that. It's haunting me. It haunts me in my dreams. I hate the fact that it's stuck in my head, that I'm going to be singing that actually now after I've recorded this. But the second reason that I don't like that song is because the whole song is just an elaborate way of asking a question that has a very simple answer. No, there is no way Mary knew all those things that the songwriter is asking if Mary knew. No, she did not see the nail-scarred palms. No, she did not see insults and blood and grave clothes because honestly, if she had, would she have chosen to go through with it? I'm not so sure. I am so glad she didn't see all of the pain ahead. All she saw was the character of God, and that was enough. Because the pain was going to be there, the pain wasn't going to be avoided, but through that pain, so many lives were changed forever. My life was changed. Listen, I don't know what pain or difficulties are going to be waiting for us. I don't know what opportunities are going to be there. I don't know what breakthroughs we're going to experience. But here is what I do want to see and what I want you to see. First, what time is it in life? Because I want to prepare. Winter's coming again. I want to see where my real security is found when life is unstable. I want to see the strength of community because my future depends on the friends I surround myself with. I want to see the power of grace at work in my life and in my radius. So keeping your focus on these things is going to strengthen your greatest asset going into this new year. That's your inner world. Ask yourself the question now at the very beginning of 2021, will the strength of my inner world meet the demands of my outer world? You and I, we have a chance right now to make sure it does. And Radius, we are here to help. So next week, we're going to be dropping the first installment of a brand new growth series that we're calling Weightless. We want to help you and everyone in your life drop the things that are holding us back and holding us down so you don't carry those into this new chapter of your life. It's going to be life-changing, I promise you. Everybody wants 2021 to be better than 2020. We know we can't guarantee that the events are going to be any easier, but maybe we can become a little less afraid, a little less fragile, a little less vulnerable, and ultimately more helpful for the world around us. That's what people with a strong inner life can experience. So join us next time to find out how. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit that little bell icon so that you don't miss any of this. And help somebody else. Right now, invite the people in your network to come and check out what God is doing through Radius. We love you, and we pray this better equips you for the amazing life that God wants for you.